Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to take a look at the top 10 robots of 2020 leading into 2021. So a few things I wanted to also mention. Some of my ranking has factored in upcoming changes to the Hawk, the Scorpion and the Nightingale. I've also included this year's top Titan along with recommended builds and pilots for each bot. And before we get started, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and if you haven't yet subscribed, consider subscribing for more War Robots content. And without further ado, let's get started with this year's number 10 pick. This year's number 10 pick goes to the Phantom. So the Phantom is the first robot in the game to have the teleport ability. Strengths are its speed, resistance, the ability to blink back to safety, and it comes with max speed at level 1. Weakness: very vulnerable when it doesn't have its ability. It's also very vulnerable to Titans and the Hawk. Top builds for the Phantom at this point in the game are Havoc Scatter, Igniter Blaze, Scourge Spark, and I've also put up on the screen my pilot of choice. Moving on to number 9, we have the Blitz. The Blitz is a powerful brawler with burst speed and an Aegis shield. However, it is the Clive Vicious pilot for the Blitz, which is the reason why the Blitz is still in this year's top 10. This pilot takes away the Aegis shield but adds resistance to the Blitz, allowing it to be played more aggressively. Strengths are its speed, resistance, suppression, and firepower, which is why many top players use this robot as a beacon runner and brawler. Weakness: vulnerable when it doesn't have its ability. It also goes down fast to Hawks and Titans, so make sure you always use cover. Top builds for the Blitz include Scatter, Quarkers, Shredders, and Spark. Taking the number 8 spot this year, we have the Fenrir. The Fenrir is one of the tankiest robots in the game with an Aegis shield. However, a new recent pilot by the name of Bernadette Wolf has made it the ultimate tank. It is a solid brawler, and with the incoming nerf to the Hawk, I think we'll start to see more Fenrirs being used by top players. Strengths are its resistance and firepower. Weakness: it's slow on the battlefield, making it an easy target when out in the open, especially to those that have lockdown and corrosion weapons. Top builds for the Fenrir: Devastator Havoc, Ember Igniter, and Nucleon Atomizers. At number 7, we have the Nightingale. The Nightingale is the first flying robot with the ability to both heal and suppress. This robot currently is one of the best beacon runners in the game. However, this is going to be changing in the near future as it won't be able to capture beacons while in flight. Aside from that, it's a great healer and support bot with deadly firepower. Its strengths: the ability to fly, heal, and suppress multiple targets. It also has stealth, which can come in handy when quantum radar and quantum sensor isn't being used on the battlefield. Weakness: vulnerable when not in flight and can be taken down easily with quantum radar and quantum sensor. Top builds for the Nightingale include Havoc Scatter, Cryo Rhyme, Igniter Blaze, and Scourge Spark. This year's number 6 spot comes as a complete surprise. It is the Hades. So the Hades is an older Pantheon bot with an indestructible absorber shield and deadly firepower. One reason why this robot has catapulted into this year's top 10 is because its shield syncs really well with phase shift, and it also has the ability to protect itself and teammates from Hawks. Strengths: absorber shield, deadly firepower along with a built-in autocannon. And weakness: vulnerable when it doesn't have its absorber shield up. Scorpions and those running shield breaker. Top builds for the Hades include Devastator Scatter, Nucleon Quarker, Ember Blaze, and Calamity Spark. As we make our way to the top 5 robots of the game this year, brace yourselves as these robots are going to be terrifying to deal with in the coming months. Taking the number 5 spot this year, we have the Typhon. The Typhon has the ability to EMP enemy robots, robbing them of their abilities and blocking them from using their active modules. This ability also applies suppression and lockdown. Strengths: not only does this have 4 medium weapon slots, it has a powerful Aegis shield and the ability to immobilize the enemy. Weakness: very vulnerable when its shield has been knocked down, and also vulnerable to Scorpions or those using the shield breaker module. Top builds for the Typhon: Havoc, Igniter, Pulsar, and Wasp. Teleporting its way into this year's number 4 spot, we have the Scorpion. The Scorpion has the deadliest attack out of all the robots in this year's top 10 list, with the ability to teleport behind the enemy from 350 meters away. Most times you will never see this attack coming until it's too late. The Scorpion's biggest strength, I would say, is its ability to teleport and blink away within seconds. To add to its vicious attack style, it also has deadly firepower and a venomous sting. Its weakness, very squishy when its ability is on cooldown, and while it does have deadly firepower, oftentimes it struggles with tankier robots like T-Falcons, Fenrirs and Shell. Top builds for the Scorpion include Havoc Scatter, Cryo Rime and Igniter Blaze. This year's number 3 spot goes to the Ravana. Even with recent balance changes, the Ravana has managed to hold its ground and has started to emerge once again as a powerful brawler and beacon runner used by many top players. In terms of strengths, Transcendence allows this robot to survive for longer during close range fights. It has deadly firepower with 3 medium weapon slots and is a great beacon defender. In terms of weakness, so just like other robots, it's very vulnerable when it doesn't have its ability, and another recent threat is the Typhon. Top builds for the Ravana include Havoc, Igniter and Atomizer. This year's number 2 spot goes to the Hawk. I know this might come as a surprise to some, however I had to make changes to the ranking of this robot because of upcoming changes. The Hawk is currently one of the most feared robots on the battlefield, extremely deadly to regular robots, and the ultimate Titan killer. In terms of strengths, not only does this have an insanely powerful built-in weapon, it also has a reflector shield which reflects damage to those dealing damage to it while it's in flight. In terms of weakness, so very vulnerable when it's not in flight, but it's also very vulnerable to attacks, especially by Scorpions and Typhons. Top builds for the Hawk: Glacier Rime Iku, Glacier Rime, Nucleon Quarker and Devastator Scatter. The number 1 pick for 2020 leading into 2021 is the Shell. The Shell is the latest robot to hit the battlefield and is starting to become a very popular choice amongst top players. Not only is this robot very tanky, but it has strong physical shields, allowing it to be played aggressively. In terms of strengths, it's very tanky, has strong physical shields, a very deadly detonation blast, giving it the ability to push players back. Weakness: this robot is very vulnerable to especially rocket type weapons, flamethrowers and the Hawk if hit from above. Top builds for the Shell include Devastator Scatter, Ember Blaze and Ansel Scatter. That concludes my top 10 picks for 2020 leading into 2021, and in terms of my top Titan pick for 2020, it is the Nodens. So the Nodens is the only Titan with the ability to heal its allies and is often seen in numbers when it comes to top clans. It has 4 beta weapon slots and can suppress multiple enemy targets. If you see insane scores of 7 million damage and up, it's most likely because that player has a Nodens in the hangar. Lastly, some honorable mentions which I think are worth watching this year, as they very well could make it to next year's top 10 list. Thank you guys for watching. In the comment section down below, what is your top 10 list for 2020? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Until the next video, I'll catch you guys later.